Now that Sonic X Shadow Generations has been out for well over half a year here, I found it only that much more fitting to look now, if we can, with some clarity toward the future and speculate on just what exactly is going on with Sega and Sonic Team here and what the fate of Shadow will be, the infamous Hedgehog himself. So, as we all know, aside from the one DLC stage that was to capitalize off the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie, there have been no other further plans as of yet, at the time of this video, to expand upon and capitalize on Shadow's iconic history throughout the Sonic franchise, and to really give players and fans that much more incentive to go back and replay Sonic X Shadow Generations here, to really sink more time into it. Could we in fact be getting perhaps a standalone title featuring Shadow in the future, or something more akin to, say, Sonic Force's episode Shadow treatment here for the infamous Hedgehog in question? What exactly is going on? Do you guys think that Sega and Sonic Team have something really special planned here, and that we're going to be seeing perhaps something similar to either the Force's treatment for Shadow or the Shadow Generations treatment? Me personally, I really can't say. It's really anyone's guess at this point in time, but for what it's truly worth, I feel like, in my opinion, it would be nice to have a standalone game featuring the boost style formula here for Shadow, and to really add more stages in from Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog of course as well, Sonic 06. You know, I really feel like there could have been a lot more done here with Shadow Generations. While I am very, very happy with this, that cannot be understated here at all, guys. I absolutely love what they did with this. I want more stages here featuring Shadow's past, and I honestly would love as many stages as can really fit in with the story. So then going from there, how exactly would all these moving pieces work here in terms of the story to justify having these stages return in glorious high definition here, with the boost style formula being the real selling point here? So for what it's worth, having, in my opinion, maybe not Black Doom, but some other type of villain, maybe have Dr. Eggman be the main attraction once again, you know, and have something like that happen where Eggman invents either some new robot or some kind of supernatural force to really get revenge on Shadow now for betraying him and doing his own thing here after siding with Sonic and friends. You know, I feel like too, what would be interesting would be to have Silver show up and be a playable character here. While I know controversial, give Silver, say, boost style gameplay similar to Sonic but with his psychokinesis abilities, being able to maybe glide for a short time, and that could be his boost meter, so you can't just easily cheese over stages here like you did with Tails in the original Sonic Adventure back in the day. Just some kind of other mechanics in as well, or abilities and whatnot, to help Silver stand out from not just Sonic but Shadow then in particular here. So I feel like that could be a good selling point, to have not just Shadow but Silver be playable after all these years of just being relegated to a side character, for lack of a better, well, word here. I think, in my opinion, that would be really, really cool to see. So let me know then, guys, down below what you think about this. How exactly should Shadow's character go from here in terms of story or gameplay, with Sega and Sonic Team hopefully working on something else here to further capitalize and expand upon Shadow Generations' incredible success here? I feel like it really deserves to have a lot more stages added in as DLC, but then again, if this results in a full-blown new game altogether, hey, I'm not complaining. I'm going to be actually over the moon about it, you know? So I feel like aside from that gameplay and story-wise, we should move on then to, I guess, other antagonists and boss fights I would love to see. So perhaps maybe the Egg Emperor could come back. Now, I know he was already in the 3DS version of Sonic Generations back in 2011, but why don't we put a twist on that, you know? Maybe have an Eggman robot piloting it secretly instead, of disguised as Dr. Eggman, or even, well, you know, Neo Metal Sonic, for that matter, you know? Just something to really change it up, but keep it also familiar for old and new fans to both collectively enjoy together here and celebrate Shadow's legacy as a part of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. These are just my 2 cents, though, and my general unscripted ramblings here, so take it all for what you will with a huge grain of salt, and I mean huge, as we just kind of have a roundtable style discussion here with the infamous Hedgehog in question's future. Or should I say past? Since that really is going to be Shadow's future here, if you really think about it. But I would say also then from Sonic 06, if we had to pick a few stages, probably Aquatic Base, Flame Core, I'd love to see come back as well. Maybe Radical Train, but obviously without the vehicles and all that slowing down the gameplay. But otherwise, I would say from then Sonic Heroes, I want Final Fortress and Egg Fleet to come back in some capacity then. And then I guess going backward for Sonic Adventure 2, I know we already got White Jungle and Sonic Forces, but I want a proper version of that. It just did not feel complete at all. It felt so, not lifeless, but devoid of substance and branching pathways. At least what I've been able to find playing Sonic Forces over the years. I mean, I can't be the only one who thinks that, right? Right? Anyway, moving right along then, guys. Yeah, I think that honestly, besides that, maybe throw in a level or two from the Sonic Rivals games, you know, that were on PlayStation Portable, the racing ones, for a real little Easter egg of a surprise there. Also then, it can't help but be understated here how many stages I would want from Shadow's original standalone game, Shadow the Hedgehog, back in 2005. Personally, besides Westopolis and maybe the Doom, I would love to see come back the Black Comet in all its entirety. All the different sections and layers of it that we got to explore, I want more of that. You know, whether that would involve Black Doom being a part of the plot then as well, to be shoehorned in as either the, say, secondary antagonist, but not the main one, I think that would work actually really well. You know, with the environment, all the different aliens there, and the tentacles moving around and whatnot, I feel like it would be really, really cool and really, really awesome and exciting to go back and see all these things again from Shadow's past and now fully revamped. Speaking of revamped, I would also really, really like to see then from Sonic Adventure 2, maybe a different version of either not the Space Colony arc, but some type of mashup level that includes elements from maybe not just Shadow, but maybe Sonic as well. I don't know how that could maybe make sense, but just a way to, you know, have more levels be properly represented as they're brought back here for all of us to enjoy over time here. So I'd say that on that note, with any other levels on the top of my head here that I think would be fitting to come back, maybe, now this is a real hot take you could say, but maybe, just maybe, if we could have some kind of ultimate level similar to the End of the World section from Sonic 06, but have it be with Shadow and Silver and switch off at certain predetermined points between the two hedgehogs, and maybe even have a cameo from Sonic thrown in there just for good measure. Somehow, just to, you know, spice things up. But honestly, other than that, I think that would probably just about cover it then for stages from me. Now, moving on to boss battles then and the like, I really feel like, besides Egg Emperor from Sonic Heroes, from Sonic Adventure 2, I'd actually like the gun robot mechs to come back and be able to fight maybe one or two of them at once somehow, in some way, shape, or form. Also, the gun mechs from Shadow the Hedgehog, I'd love to have those come back as side bosses of some kind, or some kind of like giant boss where it's like I just said, 2 or maybe 3 of them switching out to fight Shadow and take him on. I just really feel like those have been severely underutilized here over the years and deserve to have their time in the spotlight too. I mean, it's only fitting. They are part of Shadow's history. It's not just Sonic and Dr. Eggman. So, what the heck, Sega? Come on. Bring back the gun mechs, please. Also then, I'd say, skipping ahead past Sonic 06 and the like, I would like for there to be some kind of newer type of rival battle Maybe where we fight against Silver, but in a whole different setting, maybe between dimensions somehow or timelines. Something that really adds on to the mystery of Silver and the future that he comes from Sonic 06, and that whole setting and time period. I feel like it really should be explored more, but those are just my 2 cents though on that. And then also maybe have Iblis or Solaris thrown in there too, maybe as some other type of boss as well, to really capitalize on Sonic 06, but not keep referencing it too much. But again, guys, like I've been saying here from the beginning of this video, these are just my general thoughts to you all as we speculate now further on what the future does in fact possibly hold for Shadow the Hedgehog and, well, Sega and Sonic Team here, then collectively all together. So, as I share these though, let me know down below also what stages and bosses would you guys want to see for Shadow, and also should he have a standalone game going forward by some method, or also just a smaller game in the form of Sonic Forces Episode Shadow expansion, something more bite-sized like that. So please let me know though, as we can hopefully get some kind of discussion going here and really talk about all things related to Sonic and Shadow by extension here. And then also, do you guys think that the vehicles from Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06 should return in addition to these certain stages here from Shadow's past? Or should they instead stay a distant relic and remain, well, in the past here? For all puns and jokes aside. So, please also then as well be sure to let me know down below. And like I said, why don't we get a conversation here struck up and really discuss in further detail here together all the possibilities and outcomes for this really, really, really amazing time to be a Sonic fan. Or should I say a Shadow fan, if you know what I mean. So, anyway then, I'd say on that note, that'll just about do it then, concluding my current thoughts here on the future of Shadow the Hedgehog as not just a character, but a part of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise as a whole. So, let's get a conversation then going, like I said, and see where that takes us all from here. If you guys enjoy this content then and want to see even more Sonic-related stuff, be sure to, as always, check out my community post polls to stay up to date on everything I have going on for you all, but also then my other uploads as well. Be sure to let me know what you guys think of this video, and then for now then, I'd say that would just about be doing it then for me, with what I have to say here currently about this infamous hedgehog from the Sonic series. So then everyone, I've been your host for today and I am signing off, but be sure to keep it tuned though right here for more content just like this and then some. So, on that note, I'll be catching you guys all next time on the flip side. So until then, remember to have a good day and take care. See you then.